Affordaplane builders. This is Terry Adair in Houston, Texas, and I'm coming to you guys today with a problem on the Facebook group that Pat Stallings is having with his tire and wheel setup. He happened to have the same tire and wheel setup that I started with, so I thought I would do a short video and maybe this helps a little bit. It involves mounting this 13-inch tire on the Azusalite nylon 6-inch wheels. And yes, it's a little bit difficult, especially the first time you do it. And I had trouble with it, but I'm going to go through this and I'm going to show you exactly what I did. Now, I do not have the inner tube that is being utilized in my wheelbarrow, but we shouldn't need it for this video. So the first thing that I did is, number one, you have two halves of the rim. And let's make sure that we're, number one, dealing with apples to apples here, okay? So I'm going to take a measurement of the wheel. Inner diameter is 6 inches. Outer diameter is just a tad, maybe a 1/16 over 7 inches. The tire, okay, it is a 13-inch tire. And the inner diameter of that tire is 6 inches on the bead. Now this is a 4-inch wide tire. Pat, I understand you have a 5-inch wide tire, but that shouldn't be a problem. So first thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and put one side of your wheel down. We'll go ahead and put the bolts in. These are 3.5-inch bolts. They came with the rims, and I'm just going to go ahead and set that down on my bench. Now, I'm going to index this valve stem hole away from me, and then I'm going to take the tire. At this point, you would want to go ahead and take your inner tube, put it in the wheel, and just put a little bit of air in it. I believe one of our group members mentioned that, and that makes it a lot easier. Now, I use Windex. You can use soapy water, whatever you have on hand. And we just spray the outside edges of this wheel. One thing I will caution you about, as hard as it is to put it on, you want to make sure that you get everything lined up properly. Do not pinch the inner tube between the two hub halves, because once it's on, it's almost as much of a booger to take apart as it is to put together. So I'm going to assume that there's an inner tube in there and the valve stem is right here facing towards the camera. And I'm going to use this seam on the tire, and I'm going to use that to index the valve stem. And then I'm just going to push that down. Now, that went on relatively easy for me, but had it not gone on so easy, you could have used a mallet like this, anything that won't hurt the tire, and just kind of get it on the inside, just like this, to kind of help push the tire down over the rim. And you could work it around. It could be a little smaller than this so that, you know, ease of access works out. But once this is down over the wheel, then you take the other rim, and you can do the same thing with this. You can spray this with a little soap water, and you're going to line up again, indexing the valve stem, checking that the inner tube is not between the wheel. And that could be also tricky as well. But if you don't air it up too much, you should be okay. And then I'll push this in. Now, it might be hard to get it all the way down, but if you can get it far enough just to get a little access on these threads of these bolts, and this is why I lay it down so that these bolts will actually have something to rest against, I can grab and get me 3 or 4 of these threads on the bolt. And at this point, this tire is not pinched together in there. I can actually see the spacing, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'll hold it up just in case. Probably can't see that anyway. Pause the video, maybe you can, I don't know. But, you know, I can push on the tire and get as close as I want, or as close as I can, I should say. But the most important thing is make sure that the inner tube is not pinched. It is coming out of the hole, and it is pointing the direction on the outside of the tire. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but to me, if you're going to put brake disc or anything on this side, it's just going to get in the way of accessing your inner tube. So when you put it on here, like I said, make sure you got it all lined up, because it's a booger to get off as well. Even this one here is, and it's been used a little bit. So I'm going to put a 1/2 inch wrench here. I'm going to grab my impact. I'm going to tighten that up a little bit. I'm not going to go crazy with it. I just want to bring the wheel half together. Okay. And I'm inspecting to make sure everything's lined up. It is. I'm going to grab my rubber mallet. Okay. And now I'm starting to bring the wheel hub together. If I had a tube in there, I would have verified that it's not pinching. All right, I'm going to just put a little bit of torque on that one. A little bit on that one. Now, if you're using tools like this to help you out, guys, remember, don't go crazy with the torque. Just a little bit on there. And I'm sure there's some torque specifications on here if you need to. You can verify those, and you know, get your trusty torque wrench on there to finish it off. But don't go overzealous with these big tools. Okay, so there you have it. The wheel is mounted. At this point, we would just go ahead and locate our valve stem, which is right here, or would be here. And then just put your finger on the back side of it to hold it and fill it up with air. These wheels hold 20 psi maximum. So remember that. My new wheels, which are the Black Max, I think they hold 30, but those are a heavier duty tire. I think they're 4-ply, and they're a lot wider. So guys, that's it for this video. Pat Stallings, I hope this helps you out. And if you need to give me a call, I think you guys know how to contact me. You can message me, and can also just you know, talk to you over Google. Either way, guys, have a good afternoon, and I hope this helped you guys out. Talk to you later. Oh, you know what? I forgot to tell you about what this is. Well, as many of you know, my engine has been giving me perpetual problems with the heating issue. I have not been able to get that engine to cool down, and as a result, I ended up scoring a piston. I sent the engine to Stolecreek Aviation, which is a sister company of Heaven Bound Aviation. They're located just north of here in Kansas. Remember, I'm in Texas. So he received my engine last Friday, and I talked to him on Monday, and he kind of gave me an overview. Looks like we're going to be possibly, I don't know yet, a lot of this depends on parts availability and also the cost, but we may be upgrading my Hearth 2704 to a Hearth 3206. Now, I don't need any extra horsepower, but hey, it's not going to add any weight. And Mike tells me that it may even be cheaper to do the rebuild or the upgrade as opposed to just the traditional rebuild. And it will also have a cooling fan on it. So my concern is, number one, I want an engine that runs cool. So whatever Mike's got to do that within reason, I'm willing to go for it. So right now, Mike is out there trying to scare up all the parts and everything and get me a price. But in the meantime, since the engine is off the airplane, I have been working on completing the plug for my fiberglass cowling. You guys have seen Tango Alpha 1 fly around all this time with no cowling, and I was fine with that. And I still am fine with that. But Jimmy put one on his, and it looks outstanding. I even bought some of the new shark teeth vinyl decals to go on a cowling. So, I don't know, might look good on here. But remember, guys, this is just a plug. If you look back to my videos back in, I want to say February, maybe January of this year. Heck, it might even be as far back as 12 months ago. But I started this thing, and I just kind of set it aside, and I haven't been doing anything with it since. But since I have the time, and I can't fly the airplane, which I really miss because I was having loads of fun, except for that overheating issue, I decided to go ahead and start working on this again. So anyway, this here is fabricated out of 3/4 inch plywood. It has a base on the back of it that looks exactly like the firewall of my airplane. I made some ribs that go in, and I filled them in with expanding foam. I also put some 1/4 inch plywood or door skin on the side, and everywhere there's contour, it's all foam and Bondo and drywall compound, which is really cheap and easy to sand. But in the end, I'm going to put some more Bondo on the outside once I get all of the shape finalized, and then I will wax it with some, I don't know, carnauba wax or something like that. This is my fiberglass plug. So I have fiberglass resin, I've got lots of fiberglass cloth, I have a couple of different thinners, lacquer thinner, and xylene. Even picked up a couple of these cheap putty knives and things like that to kind of smooth things out and mix, something to mix the fiberglass in, and some primer and blue paint for Tango Alpha 1. So that's the plan, and hopefully it comes out well, and I'll have something that I can actually put on the Affordaplane as a cowling. I'm a little concerned because, yeah, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and it's not always as nice as I'd like it to be. But in the end, guys, you got to remember the Affordaplane is a plans-built, hands-on, every part fabricated by these little digits. So don't beat yourselves up too bad if it doesn't look like it came from a CNC factory. Now, some of the people out there have a lot better access to some of these expensive machines, and that's good for them. But don't beat yourself up, because most of us are building with just our bare hands and whatever tools we have in our trusty toolbox. And that's basically what I've done here. So I have to keep telling myself that and not be so hard on myself. By the time everybody else gets to see the Affordaplane, whether it's on film or in person, people always give me compliments on what outstanding work I've done. If only they knew what I knew and all of the imperfections. So I thought I would go ahead and just add this to the end of the old tire video, and y'all can kind of see what's going on while Tango Alpha 1's Hearst 2704 is in the shop and potentially being converted to a 3206. If you don't know the specs on a 3206, it is a 65 horsepower motor, and it will work with the same power fin prop that I'm using. I will most likely have to pitch up. Like I said, I don't need the extra horsepower, but you can never have enough, right? So if it's within my budget and it's a lot easier and it makes my engine more valuable and more trustworthy, I'm all in. So until next time, guys, I'm going to let you guys go with that. That's what Tango Alpha 1 is doing right now, sitting in the hangar. This is what I've been doing. And Pat Stallings, I hope that this little video maybe helps you with that tire. I think you have exactly what you need, but as memory serves me, and it's been over 1.5 years ago since these were brand new, it was a booger to get on, and it's a booger to take apart. So make sure while you're doing it that everything is lined up. Okay, guys, Terry Adair from Houston, Texas, signing out. But wait, there's more. I'm not ready to go yet. I wanted to get with you guys and talk to you about some of the things that are going on with the Facebook, YouTube page, and our Patreon page. I know I don't talk about it a lot because I'm more involved into the activity of building and flying and sharing, but I do want to remind you guys once more, regarding the YouTube channel, I can't thank my subscribers enough for all the time that they spend in helping build the channel. As you know, we surpassed the 1,000 mark which is YouTube's base or benchmark for monetizing your YouTube channel. So we did that, and I want to thank you guys. And I also see that a lot of you guys are watching the videos, but not everybody's subscribed. So I want to encourage you guys, subscribe, like, and share, because that goes a long way in helping me with the video. And also, if you have not checked out the Affordaplane Facebook page, the Affordaplane Adventures page, I'll put a link down at the bottom of the page, and y'all can also like that. The Patreon page is new. We set that up a couple of months ago. So if you guys are in a position and willing, and you like the content that I'm producing, please visit the Patreon page and become a patron. That also will help me in these endeavors and bringing more videos to my subscribers. I'm relatively new at this, although I've been putting these videos out for almost a year now, and I can even see that I'm getting a little bit better and a little bit better. But I know that the farther we go in this adventure, the better the videos are going to get. So thank you guys for liking, subscribing, and sharing these videos. It's been a tremendous help, and if you're not already subscribed, go subscribe. This is Terry Adair in Houston, Texas, with the Affordaplane. I will talk to you later. See you on the next adventure. Bye.